Got off to a terrific start in the first 5 minutes, but then you flipped it around. How did you do that? You had 3 Hall of Famers on the ice against you.
Yeah, we looked a little bit overwhelmed the first 5 minutes. They came out, they were flying. It's funny when you're coaching a game and the team's playing at that speed, even from the bench, you're like, wow, this is going to be a long night. It's hard to play that pace and that intensity for 60 minutes. And I think what happened was we got Leo's line went out and got some real quality chances, almost scored. And I think that kind of broke the tension on the bench. And, they responded to that shift, and I thought we kept it consistent throughout the game.
McT and Korn both kind of breaking out tonight. They had a little bit of a funk, both 2 goals. That kind of balanced scoring, show what you guys can do when things are clicking, I guess.
Yeah, Mac was terrific. Yeah. I thought all the lines went well. I tried to mix up the matchup with Crosby's line. I thought Lundy's line did a good job filling in there. I mean, Stromey was having a tough time on the face-offs, and with that line, with Lundy's line, you've got 3 penalty killers. I think they're all defensively responsible. They can adjust their game to being sensitive to Crosby's group on the ice. So I thought they got it deep and they got it out. And when you're able to get those 40-second shifts out of that and try and neutralize that line, it's probably a good omen for your team.
We talked last year about Z. The game he got hurt in Nashville, he made a real subtle but kind of spectacular play on a breakout tonight. Just that little touch pass opened up a lot of room on Keller's first goal. I mean, we think about his patience and hanging on to the puck to make plays, but it's just kind of quick touch, first touch, just equally a bigger part of his game, I guess.
Well, the big thing that I think he's done, and we saw more and more of it right before he got hurt, is he's picked the pace and the intensity of his game up on both sides of the puck. He's a natural center, so when he's playing on the wall, he's got to be able to make plays under pressure. And he's worked on, you have to have a sense of where the defenseman is when you're taking a puck up the yellow. It's a hard play when it's going from the goal line up and there's a D on your back. You got to read where his stick is. And I think he's got his IQ offensively can actually transfer over to that defensively and on those plays. And he did several of them throughout the game where some guys might panic and chop it. He's got the poise to take it and just find the open stick play.
Off of that, the breakouts seemed a lot cleaner in this game. Yeah. What do you think was the reason for that? Was it just not as heavy of a forecheck, or just force lower?
They were coming, and that's why they got those chances in the first 5 minutes. They were barreling down the walls. I mean, the first one, Troy, he fumbled it. It went right to the slot. In the same shift, it went back to him. He fumbled it again to the slot. Sometimes the sentiment's too high on that, but like when you have like Gudis and Truber and Brian DeMoulin, those are older guys. I think they're able to communicate the options. If the wall is swallowed up and that forechecking pressure is coming down the walls, they can make those calls for little reverses and short little passes to reverse it out the zone. And I thought we kind of mixed that up pretty good after that first 5 or 6 minutes.
How much of a factor is playing John Gibson, a Pittsburgh native, against Pittsburgh?
It's awesome. I mean, I'm aware of it since last year, and I thought Gibby was outstanding. He made some huge saves when it was a 0-0 game, and our goaltending's been terrific all year. So happy for him and happy for the team.
You spoke this morning about just tying up sticks and limiting those secondary shots. How do you feel like the team performed in that aspect?
They were great. Like, we made that a priority. They're a team that's got obviously a ton of skill, but their course offense coming off their low high and their shots to the net, they really work hard to get in front of the net, and they'll get tips and they'll get positioning on the defenseman. That's what they killed us on in Pittsburgh in October. And I thought we did a really, really good job just trying to establish positioning early so they wouldn't get those free looks at tips and rebounds.
4 goals and an empty net tonight. What kind of things did you see from the team that you wanted to see them replicate going forward?
Well, I thought we had pretty good balance. We had some offensive zone time at times where we had sustained pressure, and like I've said, we're kind of a rush team, and we could have had a couple more goals on the rush. So, I think our focus has been trying to really, dig in defensively, and your offense is going to come out of your D zone. I mean, hey, there was a lot of chances. Like in the first period, both teams had a lot of chances, and I thought as the game went on, we got better defensively.
Comments out of Sweden from Silverberg about last year. Obviously, Lybushkin's coming soon here. It's kind of rare for 2 veterans that depart.
Yeah.
So You know, when you look back on last year, what do you think worked well? What do you think kind of needed adjustment year over year? You know, as far as your approach.
Well, it's interesting. Like everybody has a style of coaching, and I could be called intense. You know, I talked to Bush right after that. He had called me actually right after that came out, and he said he was misquoted. Okay, like there was a balance. There's a lot of young kids, and he was identifying meetings being long. You know, some storytelling that he felt was not relevant to the game. And when you're trying to coach young kids you don't have the time you have in the American League to teach and prepare. So, you know, in these meetings, we're just trying to make sure that you're teaching to the lowest learner sometimes. And Lubes and I had a good conversation. We had a chuckle over it. Silvers, I just was made aware of it, and it kind of surprised me because I think the event he's talking about was during Edmonton's game, and there was a TV timeout, and I was just trying to get the players to dig in and compete. You know, the game was getting kind of ugly, and they were overwhelming us at times. And I do it now too. I don't really have them, whether it's they're in front of me or on the bench. Like I don't care what the score is. When you're down goals, the message is you got to keep playing. I don't care what the score is. That's the responsibility of the coaches and the players as well. And I have a great relationship with Silver. I don't know what context it was said in, but I respect him. He's a veteran, and I think his words have value. And like going back to your question, what do you learn? I learned in the NHL there's a lot of talk, you know, and at the end of the day, there's a lot of different people, and they take messages differently. The spirit of my messages is to motivate and inspire people and make them better. And as you know, it's a different world. Some people need a customized message, and during that time, you don't have the ability to do that. You get 30 seconds to try and motivate people.
Thank you.
Thank you.